Hey everybody, here I am again. Thought I would make a quick video. Well, nothing's ever quick with my videos lately. So, I am doing the Pantasy Dinosaur Museum A5047, which is 3,064 pieces. So I'm already kind of into it. You can see here. I'm on bags number 5. I think there's bags 15s, so it's like 3 or 4 bags per number. So far so good. I mean, I'm getting now into the small details of the dinosaur bones here, like the pterodactyl. This does come with a lighting kit, which I didn't even realize it until I got it. So yeah, probably the hardest part at this point, which is I can't remember where I'm at now. Let me just see over here on, well, isn't it always like that when you know where you're at and then you get lost? So I think about halfway through it, somewhere around step 190. There we go. There's the pterodactyl there. So it's probably about 196. Anywho, you can see that, I mean, it looks pretty good. You get a lot of, everything is, printed. There's no stickers. I don't think they have very many stickers in this, if at all. So you got all the signage here for the different displays. Doors in the front. And then let me spin it around to the front side. So far, this is what you see. You do have the lights out here in front. I think that was probably the hardest part, was running the wires. They snake along in through here, come up and behind this wall. They go through these special kind of light bricks for the wiring kits, and then the wires go down in the slots, and then it comes up to here. This is just a splitter there, and then you come up to the top. I think it's going to come up here somewhere. It does come with a box that you have to supply 3 AAA batteries with, or for it. Let me think. All the pieces are pretty tight. I haven't had any real issue. Let me think. The only thing I think I've done is this here. I keep knocking it off because it's at a area where it's simple to knock it off. It's the way it's setting in there, but that's just me being clumsy. But beyond that, let me think. So yeah, there it is. Now, I am not going to lie. I'm not going to say anything bad or good, or, in the wrong way. But I will say, this is the first time I've ever discovered with this brand. I had one piece when I opened bags 5. It was warped in the bag, unfortunately. And I was like, oh no, because you have like a half a dozen, probably about 8 of these things right there, these frames. But I sent I sent an email to, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Pantasy. Anyway, I sent an email to them, and I'm sure I'll get a replacement pretty quick. But unfortunately, I think what I'll do, I'll just stick some, see, that's how it would kind of go, right? I'll just stick some white bricks in there for right now, just to fill the space until I get the replacement. So yeah, this is the Dinosaur Museum. I think it's pretty cool. I actually bought this one, and I think there's another arts school, and one other one. Kind of got all 3 of them. Got a good deal. Found them on Amazon. But yeah, I would suggest, if you're looking for the different brands beyond Lego, that you try the Pantasy ones, you try the Lumi Brick ones. Mold King's okay. I think I haven't had any problem with those. But yeah, those are the main 3 that I do that are, not Lego branded. Let me see. The only other thing I would say that I noticed, right, is their figures, right? They are, let me see if I can grab this. They're kind of, they're all right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. But they remind me of bobbleheads from way back in the day, okay? people used to buy bobbleheads. So what I did was I took one of the, let me see if I can find it here. No, I'm knocking things off the set. Oh, come on, where did you go? Where did you go? Anyway, I took one of the bobbleheads and put Lego heads on it. Okay, so here's the head for the Pantasy size. I mean, I wish I had it together here. I'm not for sure if I got one over there. What I did was I also got the craft beer brewery sitting over to my right, and oh, come on, Johnny. But anywho, oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. So this is the minifigure, okay, or the figure, or the people, whatever they call them. So now that is a Lego head on there. You can see that. It fits fine. It looks fine. You know, the feet look kind of off, but, you know, it is same. They're same height, though, as the actual Lego minifigure. So you can use those. You know, like, if you didn't want to see the feet, you can put them inside vehicles, like inside of a driving vehicle or a bus or airplane or something. But here's what they look like with their head on it. That's a pretty big head, bobblehead there, right? Compared to the Lego head. So I will definitely use the figures and then put the Lego heads on them. Got plenty of extra those. All right, so I am going to go ahead and stop here, and then I'll come back probably, I don't know, maybe when I get to like bags 12 maybe, and see how it looks. But what do you get? A couple manuals over here. You got the bags with the light kits in them. Make sure you test those out in the beginning, which all mine worked. And so, yeah, there we go. All right. I will come back and when I get further into this. Well, here I am on, get ready to start bags number 9. I just finished number 8. And here we are looking at the Dinosaur Museum still. So I'm showing you the front. Pretty much from the first, 7 bags, it was mainly everything from here down. And then I got up to here, I think it was around, probably like bags 5 and 6 I started getting up in this area, up on the second floor. As you can see around the sides here, right? I mentioned earlier that I had that window frame that was melted or worked out of the box. So what I did was I just do these pieces here and then kind of just color it a little bit, but they'll do until I get a replacement. I sent them an email, but they're only open like, I don't think they're open on the weekends as far as I know for, you know, Pantasy bricks or whatever. But anyway, here's the front again, the side, and then the back, and then I think it had the pterodactyl in it, and I was working, it started a triceratops there, and then the T-Rex. So if you haven't already seen other videos or whatever, or seen this yet, this here slides out, okay? And then so that way you can, you know, access it and look at it or whatever. Has a little clip tile back there on the front, but it does block the front door. You can see back there. So if you were a minifig or whatever coming in, you're gonna walk right underneath the tail end of the T-Rex. I had thought about redoing this and where it's, you know, just changing things around to where it would be facing forward. So that way when you come in, you would be walking along this front. I think it would be a way to do it. Just move T-Rex back, you know, where he's more back this way, and then the chains are, you know, back a little bit, and so is the signage. And then that make it look like you could walk in there. But 2X took a little bit of time, a lot of little pieces. I mean, it's amazing to believe that's mostly, tiny little one stud type pieces and little clips and clamps and things like that. Let's see, let me think. There's been no other real problems. I think I mentioned that you have these panels here that open up on the sides, but and then this one here, that gives you access to inside of if you wanted to do it that way. So let me see, were there any problems? I don't think so. Not really. As far as I remember going through it, I mean, these are sitting kind of loose right now because the top builds down on top of those. I think the only thing I had a problem with is when you run the light wires up in behind here. You got to make sure as to where they go, because I didn't have them routed in the right spot. So I had to kind of lift the stairs up and pull that back apart and then make sure I route them. I had this little tweezers. I think they came either with a Lumi brick set or one of the sets, and I used this to help guide the wires. If you got this, or if you don't get something like this, works great to really either guide them or hold them down in the bricks, like the wire bricks, and then when you're trying to snake them through the bricks or wherever they need to go, that thing does a really good job. Beyond that, I can't think of anything else that I would say. I mean, I'm gonna give it a good, this is a good build. Beyond that one warped piece, I mean, of course I'm not done with the rest of it yet. Hopefully we won't find anything else, but beyond that one warped piece, this is a great set. And I think it's just a fluke, because I mean, it looked like it was melted from the machine, that the injection machine melted it. All right, well, I am going to keep going, and then I'll come back again, probably, see, I'm getting ready to start, number 9. I think I'll come back when I get around, I think there's 15, so I might come back around, say, 13. That way you can see where it's at then. All right, hang in there. Okay, here I am back with this build, Dinosaur Museum. Yeah, it's been the next day. Stayed a little longer than I expected to do, but, so yeah. Here I am I just finished up bags 12. I was like, oh, I'll finish up after bags 13. So I put all the 13 pieces out that you can see here. And I was like, wait, if I do that, then I can't record it where you see down in here. So let me talk about what is going on up until this point for the last portion of the video. I think I took care of all this. This is kind of like a facade in a way, all this little intricate detailing here. Looks really nice. Didn't really have any problem with it in there. And then I think, see, I'm not for sure if I had these banners up yet, but so there's that. And I know I was already on the sides, and I had to make this little section here because of that melted piece. And then it went into putting on the roof section, or the next floor. And the only thing I can say about that is that when you do it, it's a lot of, 6x12s or just, a lot of different size plates. It's not a couple of big plates. So it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You put it all together, but it leaves a weakness spot under here because there's no real support for it. So when you're pressing anything down here on the top, there's even a couple areas where it says in the manual that you have to put your fingers and your hand underneath and hold it to press that piece down onto there. So that right there already lets you know that you're going to have some moving around if you don't put your hand underneath there and hold it. So it seemed like I was always fussing with that, where you can see like here how the don't know if you can see underneath there, but how that floor is up off the studs on this one piece. So basically you come back over here, push it back up, and then you go over here and it's shifting around. But eventually I got it pretty decent. So yeah, there's that. And then added more lights. There is a light up here on this section here. That's more like a display observatory type of looking thing. I like it. It does look good. There's some dinosaur bones in there displays. And then that's when you come up between the, the first floor up to second floor. I will say I had a problem with those railings. I mentioned them already before, especially the two that come up. I probably would have already glued them as many times as I knocked them off. But I forgot to get the glue from the house, and I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and keep on going. So I did. Probably knocked them off like 20 times. Because there's only one stud, round stud that holds those railings on there. But, I mean, they're not major complaints. They're just like little things, that you have to kind of deal with. Then I would say one of the other things about it was, I was doing this when I started, and then I kind of stopped, and then I did it again. I have a term for it. I made it up while I was doing it. Prefab building, right? So let's say you have 3 or 4 different subsections up there go up on this top section. But when you look at the manual, it's not like, oh, we'll build this subsection, we'll build this subsection here, and then we'll build this subsection here, and then we'll put them all up there. It's like, nope, build this section, put it up there. Build this section, put it up there. So I was going back and forth in the manual to skip ahead, build those subsections, prefabbing them, to where I get like 4 or 5 of those sections at once. And then I would go and put them up there, like they're supposed to be. I found that to be way easier because when I was doing it, if I try to just build the sections on as you go on top of here, you're knocking things around. It's too simple to knock stuff off. So I'm going to do that prefab building in the future when I do other Lego and non-Lego sets. It is way better. But you just got to skip ahead in the manual, of course, and come back. So I think that's pretty much about at this point that I can mention. I don't think there's really any real point to show that, up in here. I mean, it's just an open display. But, okay, so the next portion is to put the roof on here. And it's kind of like a dome-shaped type thing. And I think that's pretty much it at that point. So, yeah, it's mainly just the roof on it. And then I guess what I'll do is I'll come back at the end when I get the last of bags 15 done, or sets of 15. And then wrap it all up for you. Okay, so let me get started on that. See you in a bit. Alrighty, here we go. It's done. The Dinosaur Museum by Pantasy. So I got it setting here. The lights on. Yeah. I would just say that this build was it was fine, for sure. And had some challenges. It had its moments. But I think overall, I didn't mind it one bit. It's definitely very unique in the sense of the type of set that it is. So, where I stopped last, I was in this area here, putting the roof in this section here on, and the very all the way up to the top. And then that's where I was about to do at bags 13 through 15. Yeah. So 13 and 14 covered, 13 and 14 covered this whole dome thing up here. Now, underneath this dome is some lights, of course, but in this area here, underneath this dome, is where the battery pack is to put the power to all the lights all the way down. That right there is probably the only thing I didn't like, because it hides it, but you have to take this off in order to turn those lights on and off. And believe me, at first I could not get it lined up. For it to, figure out where it's supposed to go, it's fitting, because there's actually, well, here, I'll just go ahead and lift this up. There's actually, if you can see up underneath of there, there's the wire, and then, you gotta spin it around. There is a brick with an electrical power item inside of it. You can see it here, okay? It was attached to here, but I went ahead and put it down here because the clutch power on it is really solid. It's better if you put it on there and leave it down low as opposed to up here on the top, because you're just going to pull it right back off. But my point is, I finagled with this a lot in order to get that to come off easily and put it back on. But anyway, so yeah, the power box is up here, like I mentioned earlier. I talked about it. It takes 3 AAA batteries. It's not a big deal. I mean, I don't want to say it's a bad thing. I would just say that it's just in an odd place. I'm used to, I guess, some other sets where they put the power supply on the back or down to the side, and they build around it and hide it like that somehow. Okay, so what is left? That portion up there, like I mentioned, and then this whole back wall is a sliding wall. Okay, so to open it and access it, you slide it right and left, of course. But it is tight, and I fought with it a little bit to get it in there. So either it just needs to be adjusted a little bit, or it needs to be lubricated. But no, it's just the adjustment. And I kept hitting the nose of the T-Rex. I'm not sure if you can see this down here where the T-Rex neck and body head lands on. There's 2 single rods here. I added a piece to kind of connect them together. Otherwise, they're going to bow. So, but beyond that, it was probably about the only unique thing that I had to add or, make up for. But anyway, the back wall, like I mentioned, it's all in very last bag. Bag 15 finishes it off. I will say this whole modular set here is relatively heavy. I don't know what the poundage is, but I bet it weighs at least 5, maybe 10 pounds. It is a bad boy of a modular set. I gotta agree with Pantasy, when they go along and they build something that's unique, they go all out. I mean, they really did with this one. They did a good job. And normally, I'm a big Lego fan, of course, but I'm also a fan of the other ones, like I mentioned earlier, Pantasy, Lumi Bricks, and so on. I like to spend my horizons, of course, and do other sets like this. And I'm really enjoying them. I think they're good, definitely good for the value of what they cost. I mean, this is, I want to say, I think it was like 140, 150 on Amazon. I bought all 3 of these newest ones they came out with. The Dinosaur Museum, the Art School, and of course the other one, which I still can't remember. Every time I turn the camera on here to record, I forget. Okay, well, if you got questions, put them in the comments down below. If you want me to do something else or a different type of set, or maybe mention some other brand or non-Lego branded modulars, that would be interesting for me to do. At this point, I think I'm gonna switch over and finish doing the Lego cat for my wife. Taking that tuxedo cat and making it all black. I ordered all the black pieces from Lego, and believe me, it took 2 months to get those pieces. And they all didn't come at once, of course. It was kind of, package here, package there. I thought I was never going to get them. But eventually I did. I got the last portion of them, was it last week, Friday? So I'm just saying, I want to get that done. That's been a 2.5 month project that I wanted to finish for her. As well as I got the orange cat. Got that too. So I think I'll go ahead and finish the all black and then do the orange cat. Maybe make a video on both of, make the video on both of them. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. This is, like always, long video, of course, but I'm not known for doing short ones, that's for sure. Yep. All right, I think that wraps it up for doing the Pantasy Dinosaur Museum 85047, which is 3,064 pieces. All right then, see you on the next one.